And this is the lineage of Isaac, son of Abraham. Abraham begat Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took his wife Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel the Aramean, from Paddan Aram, sister of Laban the Aramean. And Isaac pleaded with the name on behalf of his wife, for she was barren, and the name granted his plea, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children clashed together within her, and she said, "Then why me?" And she went to inquire of the name. And the name said to her, "Two nations in your womb, two peoples from your loins shall issue, people over people shall prevail, the elder the younger slave." And when her time was come to give birth, look, there were twins in her womb. And the first one came out ruddy, like a hairy mantle all over, and they called his name Esau. Then his brother came out, his hand grasping Esau's heel, and they called his name Jacob. And Isaac was 60 years old when they were born. And the lads grew up, and Esau was a man skilled in hunting, a man of the field, and Jacob was a simple man, a dweller in tents. And Isaac loved Esau for the game that he brought him, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob prepared a stew, and Esau came from the field, and he was famished. And Esau said to Jacob, "Let me gulp down some of this red stuff, for I am famished." Therefore is his name called Edom. And Jacob said, "Sell now your birthright to me." And Esau said, "Look, I am at the point of death, so why do I need a birthright?" And Jacob said, "Swear to me now." And he swore to him, and he sold his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew, and he ate and he drank, and he rose and he went off, and Esau spurned the birthright. And there was a famine in the land, beside the former famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, in Gerar. And the name appeared unto him and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Stay in the land that I shall say to you. Sojourn in this land, so that I may be with you and bless you. For to you and your seed I will give all these lands, and I will fulfill the oath that I swore to Abraham your father, and I will multiply your seed like the stars in the heavens, and I will give to your seed all these lands, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed through your seed, because Abraham has listened to my voice, and has kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my teachings." And Isaac dwelt in Gerar. And the men of the place asked of his wife, and he said, "She is my sister," fearing to say, "my wife," lest the men of the place kill me over Rebekah, for she is comely to look at. And it happened, as his time drew on, that Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out the window and saw, and there was Isaac playing with Rebekah his wife. And Abimelech summoned Isaac, and he said, "Why, look, she is your wife? And how could you say, 'She is my sister'?" And Isaac said to him, "For I thought, lest I die over her." And Abimelech said, "What is this you have done to us? One of the people might have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us." And Abimelech commanded all the people, saying, "Whoever touches this man or his wife is doomed to die." And Isaac sowed in that land, and he reaped that year 100-fold, and the name blessed him. And the man became ever greater until he was very great. And he had possessions of flocks and of herds and many slaves, and the Philistines envied him. And all the wells that his father's servants had dug in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines blocked up, filling them with earth. And Abimelech said to Isaac, "Go away from us, for you have grown far too powerful for us." And Isaac went off from there, and encamped in the wadi of Gerar, and dwelled there. And Isaac dug anew the wells of water that had been dug in the days of Abraham his father, which the Philistines had blocked up after Abraham's death, and he gave them names, like the names his father had called them. And Isaac's servants dug in the wadi, and they found there a well of fresh water. And the shepherds of Gerar quarreled with Isaac's shepherds, saying, "The water is ours." And he called the name of the well Esek, for they had contended with him. And they dug another well, and they quarreled over it too. And he called its name Sitnah. And he pulled up stakes from there and dug another well, and they did not quarrel over it. And he called its name Rehoboth. And he said, "For now the name has given us space, that we may be fruitful in the land." And he went up from there to Beersheba, and the name appeared unto him on that night, and said, "I am the God of Abraham your father. Fear not, for I am with you, and I will bless you, and I will multiply your seed for the sake of Abraham my servant." And he built an altar there, and he invoked the name of the name, and he pitched his tent there. And Isaac's servant began digging a well there. And Abimelech came to him from Gerar with Ahuzath his counselor, and Pekah captain of his troops. And Isaac said to them, "Why have you come to me when you have been hostile towards me, and have sent me away from you?" And they said, "We have clearly seen that the name is with you, and we thought, let there be an oath between our two sides, between you and us, and let us seal a pact with you that you will do no harm to us, just as we have not touched you, and just as we have done towards you only good, sending you away in peace. Be you hence blessed of the name." And he made them a feast, and they ate and drank. And they rose early in the morning, and swore to each other. And Isaac sent them away, and they went from him in peace. And it happened on that day that Isaac's servants came and told him of the well they had dug, and they said to him, "We have found water." And he called it Shibah. Therefore the name of the town is Beersheba to this day. And Esau was 40 years old, and he took as wife Judith, the daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. And they were a provocation to Isaac and to Rebekah. And it happened when Isaac was old, that his eyes grew too bleary to see. And he called to Esau his elder son, and said to him, "My son." And he said, "Here I am." And he said, "Look, I have grown old. I know not how soon I shall die. So now take up, pray, your gear, your quiver, and your bow, and go out to the field, and hunt me some game, and make me a dish of the kind that I love, and bring it to me that I may eat, so that I may solemnly bless you before I die." And Rebekah was listening as Isaac spoke to Esau his son, and Esau went off to the field to hunt game to bring. And Rebekah said to Jacob her son, "Look, I have heard your father speaking to Esau your brother, saying, 'Bring me some game, and make me a dish that I may eat, and I shall bless you in the name's presence before I die.' So now, my son, listen to my voice, to what I command you, Go pray to the flock, and fetch me from there 2 choice kids, that I may make them into a dish for your father of the kind he loves. And you shall bring it to your father, and he shall eat, so that he may bless you before he dies. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Look, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth-skinned man. What if my father feels me, and I seem a cheat to him, and bring on myself a curse, and not a blessing? And his mother said, Upon me your curse, my son. Just listen to my voice, and go fetch them for me. And he went, and he fetched, and he brought to his mother, and his mother made a dish of the kind his father loved. And Rebekah took the garments of Esau, her elder son, the finery that was with her in the house, and put them on Jacob, her younger son. And the skins of the kids she put on his hands and on the smoother part of his neck. And she placed the dish and the bread she had made in the hand of Jacob her son. And he came to his father and said, Father. And he said, Here I am. Who are you, my son? And Jacob said to his father, I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done as you have spoken to me. Rise, pray, sit up, and eat of my game, so that you may solemnly bless me. And Isaac said to his son, How is it you found it this soon, my son? And he said, Because the name your Elohim gave me good luck. And Isaac said to Jacob, Come close, pray, that I may feel you, my son, whether you are my son Esau or not. And Jacob came close to Isaac his father, and he felt him, and he said, The voice is the voice of Jacob, and the hands are of Esau's hands. But he did not recognize him, for his hands were like Esau's hands, hairy. And he blessed him, and he said, Are you my son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Serve me, that I may eat of the game of my son, so that I may solemnly bless you. And he served him, and he ate, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And Isaac his father said to him, Come close, pray, and kiss me, my son. And he came close and kissed him, and he smelled his garments, and he blessed him, and he said, See, the smell of my son is like the smell of the field that the name has blessed. May Elohim grant you from the dew of the heavens and the fat of the earth and abundance of grain and drink. May peoples serve you and nations bow before you. Be overlords to your brothers. May your mother's sons bow before you. Those who curse you be cursed, and those who bless you blessed. And it happened, as soon as Isaac finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob barely had left the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came back from the hunt, and he too made a dish and brought it to his father. And he said to his father, Let my father rise and eat of the game of his son, so that you may solemnly bless me. And his father Isaac said, Who are you? And he said, I am your son, your firstborn, Esau. And Isaac was seized with a very great trembling, and he said, Who is it then who caught game and brought it to me? And I ate everything before you came and blessed him. Now blessed he stays. When Esau heard his father's words, he cried out with a great and very bitter outcry, And he said to his father, "Bless me too, father." And he said, "Your brother has come in deceit, and has taken your blessing." And he said, "Was his name called Jacob, that he should trip me now twice by the heels? My birthright he took, and look, now he's taken my blessing." And he said, "Have you not kept back a blessing for me?" And Isaac answered and said to Esau, "Look, I made him overlord to you, and all his brothers I gave him as slaves, and with grain and wine I endowed him. For you, then, what can I do, my son?" And Esau said to his father, "Do you have but one blessing, my father? Bless me too, father." And Esau raised his voice, and he wept. And Isaac his father answered and said to him, "Look, from the fat of the earth be your dwelling, and from the dew of the heavens above,